Hey guys, I'm going to talk about the new AMD range. Let's start off with the R7 range. First of all, R7 250. There is a 1GB and 2GB model with a 1GHz core clock and the memory running at 4600 MHz, GDDR5 with 384 shader units, 75 watts TDP, and a recommended retail price of $89. Could be higher, could be lower. A Firestorm benchmark of 2000, which is comparable to a 7750. Let's move on to the R7 260X. And this is a 2GB model card with a 900 MHz core clock and a 4500 MHz memory clock of GDDR5. And 1024 shader units with a recommended retail price of $139. Firestorm benchmark 3700, comparable to a GTX 650 or a HD 7790. Now let's move on to the R9 range, which is the start of which is the R9 270X, which is 2GB model with a core clock of 925 MHz. And the memory clock is 6000 MHz, GDDR5, shader units is 1536, and with a recommended retail price of $199. The Firestorm benchmark is 5500, which is comparable to a 7850. Now we move on to the R9 280X, which is a 3GB model, which has a core clock of 850 MHz. With a memory clock speed of 6000 MHz, GDDR5 again, 2048 shader units, with a recommended retail price of $299. The Firestorm benchmark is 6800, which is comparable to a GTX 680 or a GTX 770. Now we move on to the last card, which most people already know about, is the R9 290X, 4GB model. They do say that their 6GB model will come out eventually if there's enough demand for it, with a core clock of 925 MHz, memory clock of 6000 MHz, which is GDDR5 again, 2016 shader units, recommended retail price $600. Firestorm benchmark 9000, and that is estimated, because they don't tell us that one on the AMD press. And that is estimated from the GTX 780 and the Titan. We believe that it'll be just in the middle there to hit the sweet spot. Most of the cards from the R7 250 to the R9 280X are rebranded 7000 series cards or 8000 series cards, but you can't actually get your hands on 8000 series cards as they are just for OEMs. Which isn't a bad thing. They've made the manufacturing process smaller, so those cards should run cooler, and they're also cheaper than what they used to be. My opinions of this is that I'm quite excited, as this will make Nvidia rethink their strategy and take them off the little pedestal which they're on. I'm not an AMD fanboy by any means. If anyone sees my other videos, I'm currently running two GTX 670s. And I have an EVGA SLI board, so I'm clearly not a Nvidia fanboy, and not an AMD fanboy, sorry. I also have recently bought an FFX 1800 GTX just for shits and giggles. So clearly I'm not a fanboy of any brand. I just go with what's the best going, and Nvidia has some of the best stuff going, but they're charging a premium for it. Anyway, I hope this has been enlightening for you guys. Have a good day.